Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Christina.
I'm Dan.
And we're the Matthewsons. So, I've just got my seed order and I'm super excited because there's so much seeds there.
We've been out in the garden, but it's a bit windy to plant just yet.
It's so windy.
We've had to make arrangements and maybe wait until, well, we'll do what we can today.
Yeah, I'm going to show them what happened. So, let me just turn the camera around. As you can see, our hard work of putting that greenhouse up has been blown over by the winds here, which, you know, I'm going to say it. Ben was right. He said it won't stand up because of the winds.
Like I said,
okay,
I don't
this
get
is
any pleasure in being right, but it does
this is the
happen
only
very,
time
very
he's
occasionally.
right. This is like the only time that he is right. So he can take this win. It's on camera. I have said he was right in this occasion. However, I still think we can make that stand up by doing some things, like maybe putting some star pickets into the ground and tying it to the star picket so that it's got something to hold up against. We'll see. I'm disappointed though because I wouldn't want to feel that thing. Like I've got all of those seeds that I'm going to show you.
You've got some lovely seedlings too.
Yeah.
Put in there.
That I want to get started in there. So first of all, I'm going to show you the seeds that came today. Hopefully today I want Ben.
Hopefully today. Ben will.
Hopefully today Ben will, because I've got client appointments, so I've got to go see some clients. Excuse me, those client appointments just paid for your new guitar.
Got client appointments, please finish.
So I have client appointments, so I've got to go do those, and then I can get back into the garden, and then I've got a video conference with some friends later tonight. So I really want to get some stuff going because, like, for me, it's like seeing the seeds is really exciting, but also seeing them not in the ground is not exciting. So you need to get them in the ground and get them going. And you know, I showed you last week, like, Ben planted some of the broccoli and the other plants that we got from the nursery, and they're looking great. They're doing fabulous, and I think that they're going to grow really, really well where they are. But if you do the math on how much food we actually need to be able to sustain us, it's actually quite a lot. So for example, I showed you like 1, 2, I think we've got 3 broccoli plants over there. That's 3 meals. Like a head of broccoli in our house is 1 meal. So if you think about all of the meals that our family needs to eat and how often and how much broccoli we want to eat, it makes sense that we actually need to plant out a lot to be able to make a dent in our food budget, but also to provide ourselves with some nourishment.
The strike rate for plants is often fairly low, so it's, you know, that's why you get like seeds in the hundreds in packets. So.
And even though, like, you might get all the seeds to come up, but even if you get them all to come up, then you're going to lose some to critters, you know, mice, whatever, birds, etc., and then bugs. So everything that you plant is not something you're going to be able to harvest. So you need to plant what you need plus some extra surplus buffer space. So I'm looking at my cauliflowers, and I'm sure I've got, I would easily say if each of those plants grew, I would easily say that I've got about 50 cauliflower plants there. That's nowhere near enough for us. Like, you know, one head of cauliflower for our family, again, 1 meal.
Yeah.
So even if we only ate it once a week, that's still 52 heads of cauliflower we need to be able to eat once a week.
You could encourage them not to eat, the children. And,
yeah.
and I could, like, no, probably not.
Yeah, back to the drawing board with that one, Ben.
Yeah.
So first things first, I'm going to show you the seeds that we've got. So I've just laid out all of the seeds on the bed, and I've put them into a little bit of an order. So Ben, if you want to start with those ones over there, what are they?
So we've got carrots. We've got every single type of carrot imaginable.
So there's no point just buying orange carrots because when you can get rainbow carrots. Why would you not get rainbow carrots?
We've had like unusual coloured carrots before, and they're just a bit different. They're interesting, and they do taste slightly different. And the children have actually enjoyed them too.
Yeah, and from a nutritional point of view, like purple carrots, for example, are higher in antioxidants. Like all of those are high in antioxidants because of the colours, but the purple ones are actually more nutritious. Not that you should only eat purple, but you want to eat the rainbow. So I'm hoping for us to get a whole range of rainbow carrots out of this. Here, oh, we should tell you what brands we've got as well. So this is from, oh, they haven't got their little stamp on them.
It's Rangeview seeds.
Yeah, these are Rangeview seeds. They're a Tasmanian company, so we got those relatively quickly. Here, these are Digger's Heirloom seeds, so they're an Australian company as well. And the last, these are broad beans, but the company that has these is the Seed Collection. And I'll link, I'll put the links for all of those down below so that you can go and have a look at them. But I love the Seed Collection. If you are trying to grow a garden on a budget, they just give you small amounts. So for example, what have we got in here? We've got 500 seeds in here. You can order with them things like 25 seeds, or here we've got 10 seeds. You can, where's another one? This one has 115 seeds. So you can order smaller amounts of seeds so that they're much cheaper, and you can get things going, and you can build on top of that. So we've got broad beans. Nobody in our family is particularly, excited about the broad beans, but
Bet you found a trick.
well, I'm going to cook them with bacon and butter, so that will make them better. And I have learnt with broad beans that if you pick them while they're still young, they're actually creamy and they're soft, and they are still sweet. It's as they get older that they take on a bit more of a bitter flavour. But here are some herbs as well that I want to get growing so my herb garden can flourish. One of my new ones that I picked up today is calendula. Broad beans, we've got broccoli. I think I need, Ben, a couple more varieties of broccoli.
There's never enough broccoli. We do eat a lot of broccoli compared to other vegetables.
I've got purple sprouting there, and then I've got like four green varieties. I think we need some more coloured varieties of broccoli. What do you think?
Do they exist?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not massively. You can get purple broccoli. Let's go with getting some more purple one into our
That'd be fun.
diet. And then we've got cabbages, so we're going to spread out those cabbages to see what we've got.
Golden Acre, Red Express, Green Veritas, and Tatsoi Black.
And we've just got some, these are these guys. They're just from the supermarket.
They're generic ones.
Yeah. Then lettuces. Of course, we eat lettuce every day at the moment, so I've got a range of lettuces there. Onions. I've put the leeks in the onion pile. Ben does not like leeks, but he really does. He doesn't know that he does.
Yeah. I don't know
Let's say that, Ben.
I don't know who's going to see this, but my mum was not a good cook, so, she could pretty much butcher most things. So I guess maybe she tried giving me leeks in a soup or something, and I went, yeah, that's not going to work for me.
So he doesn't like leek. He says he doesn't. I have made him one of his favourite dishes, which has leek, basil and tomato in it, and he loves it. Okay, I got some Brussels sprouts. Ben believes that we don't like Brussels sprouts, but everybody in the house except him likes Brussels sprouts. Some celery, cauliflower. So I've got white cauliflower, purple cauliflower. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Beetroot. I think I'm going to need some more beetroot, especially some more like rainbow coloured beetroot to make it fun and exciting. Celery. I think I'm going to need some more celery. I have turnip, rhubarb. I would like a couple more varieties of rhubarb, but I might just stay with this for now. Radishes. This just looks fun. Like, hello, Easter egg radishes. Who could resist a name like that? Easter egg radishes.
Do they look like Easter eggs or what?
Well, they do look like Easter eggs when they
seeds.
grow.
Yeah.
But Ben asked me this morning, will they taste like Easter eggs? No,
Probably
they're
not.
not going to taste like that.
That's a pain.
Again, lots of leafy greens, so vitamin greens, chards, etc., spinaches, because we need lots of leafy greens to keep us healthy and well. Some silver beet and some more peas, and of course some kale. So that's it for our seed collection at the moment, and it's just going to grow, I'm sure. Now we need to get those seeds in the ground so that they can start growing and we can start harvesting. But it's just looking yuckier and yuckier out there.
It's not a great day. It is not a great day at all.
But because the hothouse fell over, we do have to plant some plants. So it's going to happen, whether we like it or not, Ben.
It's inevitable.
Just as well he loves me. All right, we'll catch you on the other side while we're planting. As you can see, it's the next day, sun's out a bit more, and my amazing husband Ben is digging out a garden bed here right next to our dead body garlic is going to be our dead body carrots. So he's digging that out today. We'll watch his progress. While he's doing that, we're going to go and start some seedlings. Okay, so my job today is to get some more seedlings going. Ideally we want seedlings going for a long time yet. I've got heaps of seeds that I need to get in. Ooh. Well, there's a little surprise. There's some flower seedlings in here. I think I will get lavender. I definitely want to grow some lavender. I might get that going in a few minutes. But here is just a little greenhouse that I picked up. Apparently it's a self-watering one. It's using those little pellets. So essentially they expand when you put water in them. So we have to add water and get these pellets in here all inflated. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so this system has a self-watering system. Essentially it does that by, if I remove these, we've got under here, this is going to absorb water and then feed that up into the plants. And then we've got all of these, this is where water is just gonna sit and pool. So we'll go in there, see it says add water. That's where we add our water. So it's going to sit and then it's going to pool and it's going to come up through the bottom and keep these nicely watered. That's the goal. So to get that started though, we first need to get these to expand, and we do that by adding some hot water. And then of course the little holes is where you're going to put your seeds. So I was saying yesterday that some people think I've gone a little bit overboard with seeds, but when you do the math on how much my family eats, of a family of 9, how much we eat, like carrots for example, we easily go through 10 kilos of carrots in a fortnight to a month. So that would mean like we would approximately need to grow at least 12 kilos of carrots. Sorry, not 1,200 kilos of carrots. Well, my math is out. Whatever. We have to grow a lot of damn carrots, okay, to be able to feed ourselves for the entire year. I don't think we will produce enough to do that, but I'm sure going to give it a good try. So this is just warm water that I'm putting on here at the moment, and these are going to nearly triple in size. They should come up to about here once they've actually been fully expanded. Right, now we leave that to do its job, Oh, look, there was a daddy long legs in there. Yucko. I am not a fan of spiders. It was not alive, so I did not kill it, but I still do not like the dead spiders around. As my husband can attest, and some of my friends on the internet can attest, I'm not a spider fan. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to expand, and then we'll come back and fill this up with seeds. While we're waiting for that, I have been collecting egg cartons, little plastic containers, anything and everything that I can collect. I have been collecting in order to start seeds in. I want to get as many of these going today as possible. I don't have any clients until tonight, so I've got my whole day to get the garden producing. Okay, so while I am waiting for those to finish expanding, I'm going to start expanding one of these. So this is a seed raising mix, and it's made up of, you know, a lot of those fibers that expand when you put them in water. So we're going to put this in water. The other beneficial thing about this is that when you put this into the ground, it absorbs water from the ground as well, so that if it's around your seedlings, if you've started your seedlings in this and it's around them when they go in the ground, what's going to happen is that it's going to absorb water in the soil too, so that if there's a dry season or there's a dry patch, or just while you're, you know, haven't watered that day, you've missed a day or missed a couple of days, go away for a weekend, this is going to keep your plants watered around their root system. So we're going to start our seeds on this. Apparently this makes up to 15 litres. I'm not sure if I've got enough water. We'll see. Well, maybe you should put them away so you know where your things are. Anybody else have this discussion with their children a million times? I always know where my shoes are.
I was going to ask Dad, but then I thought Dad was going to do gardening.
Okay, I'm going to plant into here this broccoli. So I've got 250 seeds. I'm going to aim to put 2 to 3 in each one of these. Here we go. Check out my awesome girls, Faith and Sophie over there, who are digging out some garden beds. That's where the onions are going to go. Then we've got Elijah over here digging out some carrot beds. So we're going to put some carrots in there. And Chilla, wave hi. Chilla and I are going to get some more of these seeds started. Put the greenhouse up over here. I am hoping to heck that it stays up this time, but only time will tell. What are you planting, Faith?
Yeah, lettuce.
Tell the camera.
I actually tore half the thing off of there, so.
Bend down and show them. Awesome. So the girls have done both these garden beds with the help of Sophie. And now they're planting it out with lettuce.
camera, the audience, what I have just done is I have dug out this garden. It's really very clay soil. So what I've done is I've got a fork and I've broken up the clay a bit. And then on top of that I've put blood and bone. I have put can you see me properly?
Yes.
Right, I've put blood and bone. I have got chook manure. No, it's sheep manure, isn't it? Yep, sheep manure and just basic potting mix. And on top of that I've put some hay. So I've built up the garden because the soil's not so great. And what we're going to do is, as you can see, there's furrows here, and we're going to plant carrots and radishes at the same time. A little bit of a trick that Christina picked up, because the radishes shoot quicker, and that leaves the carrots to do their thing.
You can also see where the carrots are, because carrots are really, they take a long time to come up. And so you can feel like nothing's happening, but if you've got radishes in there, you can see where they are and you can see them coming up. So what I'm doing here is I've got 11 packets of different types of carrots. So I'm putting all my seed into this cup so that I can mix them all up. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to just give these a bit of a mix so that I've got, if you can see in there, can they see in the cup? Yeah. So you can see that there's lots of different seeds, and those ball-like seeds that are in there are the radishes. So I'm just going to go through and plant them, and then we'll water them and watch them grow. Time to water them in.
You want me to water them in and then put the hay on?
No, you just leave them like that.
Leave them like the way they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're tiny, so if you cover them up too much, they won't be able to come through. You can push the hay on once they're coming up, but they need like a really good water. Greenhouse had fallen down. I've moved it to a new spot in the house, so we've got like a bit more of a windbreak here. We haven't had a hard wind yet, so I don't know how it's going to go, but we've just started putting out a whole bunch of seedlings. So in here I've got lots of herbs and other things like cabbages, for example. These are beetroots. I need to come in here and give these a bit of a water. That's dill. Yeah. Here are our seedlings. Here are the other ones that we did in here. They're looking really good. Waiting for them all to come up, and then we'll be starting some more soon. But there's our greenhouse. Fingers crossed it stays up. I've put these boards and stuff in here because my idea is if I make it heavy enough, and I've put one down here as well, if I make it heavy enough it will stand up against some of the hurricane winds that we get here. It's shocking. Planting out yesterday, we planted this little fig tree, and then we've got some over here, some black currants and some red currants. You can see the kids have just gotten these new little fans. So here we've just packed this full of onions, and this one is packed full of lettuces. So I can't wait for those to come up because they will be reasonably quick to come up. And then let's go see what I've done with the peas. I just put up these strings for the peas to grab onto, because you can see the peas are all starting to come up now, which is exciting. So I want them to have stuff that they can hold on to, and it's not going to be a problem for these plants. And then we've got some more seedlings that are going to go in the ground today. The lemon tree we've planted, and we've just fed it some citrus stuff. And then yeah, that's what's happening in our garden at the moment. There we go. I don't know how much you can see, it's quite bright. But I've just planted out all these little guys. A big one over there. And my celery that I was thinking I'd put in, it's not quite ready, so I'm just going to water this and let it go. Drown out the crowd. So I thought I would give you an update on how my mushroom box is going. I've been looking after this baby for probably about at least a week and a half now, I would say, if not 2. And we can see they're getting some mushrooms coming up. There's another one. There's a heap of baby ones happening over here. It's super exciting. I'm already seeing these ones here grow every day. They're getting a little bit bigger, they're popping their heads out a little bit more. I can't wait to be eating these and cooking with them and all of those things. Super excited about the mushrooms. So excited, in fact, that I've just ordered some more mushrooms. I will look forward to showing you those when they come, but for right now, these ones are growing. So I wanted to give you just a little bit of background history on why gardening, why have I really got back into gardening right now, and why did I get into gardening in the first place. So I thought I'll tell you a little bit of a story. For me, I remember back, I remember back, I had 5 children at the time. 5 children, because Isaac was born at that point, and they were 6 and under. And I was doing a whole bunch of learning. So I'd been learning about natural health since my first baby was born. And the journey just continued to progress because, of course, I had my first baby. Ben had already had like IBS symptoms, and they were just getting progressively worse. And so we were consistently trying to look for, things that were going to help him with his gut, help him with, just not being in pain, being able to tolerate food and all of those sorts of things. So the journey kind of for me in health started with, having gestational diabetes and walking through that, having that, conversation with my doctor and doing all the research and learning all the things about gestational diabetes, and then, working really hard to not need insulin and to have a really healthy, happy pregnancy. So that was the beginning of my health journey. And if you want to know more, I did a Facebook Live on that the other day. So go jump on my Facebook page and find that video where I talked all about gestational diabetes and the experience of that. But that was the beginning of it. And then we continued to work through, Ben, and then I had more babies and all of those sorts of things. So I was consistently learning. At around that time when I just had my 5th baby, what had happened between my 4th baby and my 5th baby was that I'd done a lot of learning, and I had just learned about chemical exposure and all the different things that are in our environment, the different things that are in our food. And I had gone from this stage of, if I don't make it, we don't eat it. And so, between baby number 4 and baby number 5, that's it. If I didn't make it, we didn't eat it. And so my health changed quite dramatically for the the positive in that sense. You know, I'd gone from having 4 babies that I couldn't breastfeed beyond like 6 months because my milk would start to dry up. But so I went from that to not being able to feed them beyond that 6-month mark to suddenly I breastfed that 5th baby for 2 years because I had changed my diet. I focused on minerals. I focused on if we don't make it, we don't eat it. I focused on fermented foods and started to bring those into my diet and so on. And there were some benefits for Ben as well, along with that. And so we'd gone on this transition, and I just got to this point where I was like, I was learning about organic food. And we didn't have the finances at that point to be able to just go out and buy all organic food. It was A, very expensive, B, sometimes really hard to actually source, and it was something that I couldn't justify spending that much money at that point in time on food when I had so many mouths to feed and so little income. And so it was one of those moments where I felt really despondent and very discouraged about not being able to provide organic food for my family. And I remember standing in my kitchen thinking, darn it, I've got arms, legs, and a heartbeat, and there is dirt out the back, and I'm going to grow it. So I was in that space of like, you know, empowerment of I've got arms, legs, and a heartbeat. There's dirt outside. My ancestors did this. You know, my parents did this, my grandparents did this. I can do this. And so I started to plant a garden. And it was an interesting little garden. I just started on the patio because I had five little kids at that point in time. So I didn't want something massive that I couldn't handle. I just started with doing things like, you know, getting egg cartons was what I started my seeds in. And I got milk cartons. Like I would just chop the top off the milk cartons, and I would put dirt in there, and I put lettuce seeds in there. And then, you know, I was like, oh, tomatoes will be really good. So I brought a really big pot, and I put dirt in there, potting mix in there, and then, you know, planted some tomatoes, and we started to harvest tomatoes, and it was all out on this little balcony that I had, and it was just like bursting into life. And you know, all this greenery was coming up, all of this food was starting to come through there. So I would go and pick every day, like, you know, lettuces that we could eat in our salad. Like there would be stuff there all the time that we could pick and eat. And then I was like getting that itch for gardening. So I went, okay, there's ground at the back. I'm going to go and just dig up a bit of ground and put some seeds in and see what happens. And so I did that. I, you know, dug up a little spot, and I put in like more tomatoes because of course, you know, there's lots of us. We need more tomatoes. I put in some cucumbers. I put in zucchini. I put in, oh my gosh, I put in corn. That was delicious. But it was a hilarious experience because Ben's father had been an experienced gardener. Ben's grandfather was also an experienced gardener, and they'd come to our house and we'd just point out our little garden because we were super excited about it. And they're like, oh, that'll never work. Like it's, you know, there was always something wrong with it, why it would never work. And so every time they would come though, and they would sort of curse the garden and say, nah, that's not going to work, it would grow more and it would get bigger, and it would like, the leaves would flourish, the corn would grow more, the tomatoes were coming in and harvesting, there was pumpkins, there was zucchinis coming out of our ears. So I got to the point in that journey where I was kind of saying to them, come over and curse my garden because you make it grow more. It did help that we had virgin soil that hadn't had much grow in it for a long time. But it was this energetic uplift that came from growing things in the garden, and this empowerment of suddenly going, I'm feeding my family organic food, and I grew it. It's stuff that I grew. And there were times when, you know, as a young family, we didn't have a lot of money, and, you know, I was trying to stretch everything as much as I could. And there were days where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to feed us today. And I would go out into that garden, and I would like dig up some potatoes, and I would gather some like mint that I had growing there, and I'd get some other like zucchinis that were there as well, and I'd get a few bits and pieces, like I might have one head of corn that was ready to eat. So I'd bring it all inside, and I would, you know, cook up the potatoes with mint, and then I would have like another little salad on the side with all my leafy greens and, you know, my tomatoes that I'd just gotten some of. And like suddenly there was all of this food in my house and I grew it. It was there, like, 90% of it was mine, other than like the olive oil and the salad dressing that I might have put on top, or the butter that I brought for the potatoes. Like, most of it was food that we'd grown in our garden. And that was an extremely powerful experience. And that was when I started like a Facebook gardening group, because I was sure there were other people who needed help with gardening like I did. So I started, gardening in Tasmania, a Facebook group which now has over like 15,000 members, because it's just collected more and more people who want to know how to grow in Tasmania. And so that was the beginning of this sort of itch for gardening, and this itch for going, that was such an empowering experience. I want to do more of that. I want to be in more control, because there's nothing like sitting at the table and going, these potatoes, I grew them. These tomatoes, I grew them. And I tell you, like, tomatoes that are homegrown have so much more flavor than tomatoes that are brought at a supermarket. And so, sitting there enjoying all of this delicious food and having that sense of pride that the work and the energy that I put into it was what created this. And I did that. I was the person who did that, along with my family. Like, I made my kids get out and help me, and along with my husband, he came and helped me too. And that was such a swelling moment of pride. And so that for me was that beginning journey of getting into the garden and gardening and doing all of those things. And so now is kind of that rebirthing of that passion, just simply because of what is going on with our current climate. While I'm not necessarily concerned that there may be a food shortage, but we saw people doing silly things like buying up all the toilet paper, but like, still in my supermarket, pasta is low, you're only allowed to buy 2 packets. Tomato sauce is like, you're only allowed to buy 2 cans of it, like of canned tomatoes. We're still seeing food restrictions and limitations on what you can buy from some of those shelf-stable products because of that. And again, we don't have a big fridge and a freezer. We have like this tiny little bar fridge. We have a fridge freezer that's meant for 4-wheel driving, that we're using for our freezer, and freezers are out of stock. We've rung up to look for one and order one, just so that we could have some food preservation. And the end of next month is when they might be back in stock, because they were sold out Australia-wide. The manufacturers literally had to go and make more to meet what was happening. So we can see that there's these patterns that people, when they freak out, that they do. Like, they buy out, extra freezers. They buy out, all of the food, and they stock it away and freeze it and do all those things. So from my point of view, I just want to make sure that my family's in the best possible situation we can be in. And if nothing happens, we're going to have, like, if there is no food shortage, there's no financial shortage, none of that happens, we're still going to have beautiful, amazing organic food that we grew here right in our backyard, that my kids can feel really proud of themselves, that when we sit down and we're eating onions and we're eating lettuce and we're eating all of the other delightful things that I've put in, that they can be proud that they did that too, that they're enjoying the fruit of their own labor, because they were out there, they were digging up my onion garden for me, they're out there planting the lettuces, and even though they didn't want to, and they might have complained, some of them, they helped me start Seedlings. They did all sorts of things that are going to help make us have a flourishing garden. And so they can have that sense of pride when it reaches the table that they did that, and they're learning those amazing skills as well. So if nothing ever happens, they've learned some amazing skills. They get to have pride in themselves because they're eating from their own produce that they grew in their own garden, and they can feel proud of that. So that's why we're gardening. So along with this, we've got our chickens as well, and I'm thinking about what else we can have. I'd love to have goats. I don't think we'll get goats, but I would love to have like some miniature goats that we could milk. So then we've got like eggs, we've got milk, we've got like veggies, and like, if all else fails, we've probably got enough there to keep us happy with food. We might need some rabbits or some sort of other source of protein, but you know, we're not going to go there right now. We're just going to stick with the veggies and the eggs. And Ben doesn't want me to get too excited because we are still planning to travel. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, that's it for me today. I hope you have the most amazing day ever. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's happening in my garden and, you know, seeing all the things that we're getting up to. We're going to do some more shopping soon. And yeah, let me know if there's more things that you would like to see. Let me know. Once some of my things are grown, I'm definitely going to be showing you how to cook them so that you can make them super tasty. All right, bye for now. Have an amazing day, and we will catch you next week. Make sure you like and subscribe and share it with your friends. See ya.